It's raining! Oh my god, this couldn't get any worse. It's raining! I'm going to say a word and I want to see your reaction. Are you ready? Pimax. See? You rolled your eyes and that was my exact reaction as well. Pimax has a certain aura and mystique about it. Ultra high-end headsets made for VR enthusiasts with deep pockets on an endless quest for virtual perfection. A company that makes VR headsets for next-gen graphics cards with no regard for PC specs. A company that announces the next big thing in VR before even shipping. The last next big thing in VR that they announced. They are a conundrum indeed. Now, I'm a hardcore VR gamer. I've been into virtual reality since my original Oculus Rift CV1 way back in 2016, and most of my spare cash goes into my obsession. But I have a secret to tell you. I've never tried a Pimax headset, never even seen one, actually, until now. The team at Pimax have sent me this, the Pimax Crystal Super. I have done a short unboxing video here, if you want to see what is in the box, but this is a test video where I will be running my favourite sim racing games to push the headset and my PC to see what the mystique around Pimax is all about and whether it is justified. For full transparency, I am not sponsored by Pimax. They have sent me this unit to test with absolutely no strings attached, which I think shows how confident they are with this headset. However, if you do fancy picking up a Pimax headset, there is an affiliate link in the description for 3% off your purchase, which also helps to support my channel going forward, so thank you. Also, I have broken this video down into chapters, so you can jump ahead to the part that interests you the most. And for reference, my PC is running an RTX 4080, a 12th gen i9 with 64GB of DDR5 RAM, so no slouch in the performance then. So, I will talk about which Pimax Crystal Super headset I have, its spec, weight and comfort, then I'll move on to the usability via the Pimax Play software. After that, I'm going to run my favourite VR sim racing games with a breakdown of my settings, followed by my conclusion. So, make sure to stay till the end of the video for that, and I may chuck in a few tips and tricks along the way for all you Pimax noobs out there. Like me, by the way. Pimax Crystal Super. Now, Pimax being Pimax, ordering a Crystal Super isn't straightforward as they sell not one, not two, but 4 optical engines for this headset. Basically, the headset is modular and you, the consumer, decide which spec you want, though all models include Tobii eye tracking built in. So here is a quick breakdown. QLED ultra wide 50 ppd 3840 by 3840 per eye, 90Hz at 140 FOV. QLED 50 ppd 3840 by 3840 per eye, 90Hz with 127 degree field of view. QLED 57 ppd 3840 by 3840 per eye, 90Hz with 106 degree field of view. Micro OLED 3840 by 3552 per eye, 90Hz with 116 degree FOV. I didn't think I was going to make that. I think my teleprompter's about to explode. Let's get on. Confused? Say hello to the wonderfully unhinged world of Pimax. Now, let's get onto the Pimax Crystal Super that I have in my hands. This is the QLED 3840 by 3840 per eye resolution panel, 50 pixels per degree, 127 degree field of view, 90Hz optical engine with Tobii eye tracking built in. And yes, this is a big headset, but I guess it must be to accommodate that insane field of view, which is the largest I have experienced by some margin, probably since my Valve Index, like way back in 2019. Let's get the old drug dealer scales out, and the headset weighs in at 895 grams by itself, with the DisplayPort cable minus a power supply weighing in at 370 grams separately, for a combined total of 1,265 grams. For reference, my Quest 3S with standard Elite strap weighs 647 grams. By no means a lightweight headset, but a lot of the cable weight is removed if you're seated or using a cable management system. For example, I have this Kiwi design setup for freestanding play and this AMVR management system for my sim rig. Pimax noob tip number 1. You are wearing the headset wrong. Initially, I had this part of the head strap perched on top of my head and found the headset kept moving, especially when looking side to side. But this part of the strap is supposed to go here, tucked underneath your occipital bone of your skull. Once I'd figured that out and adjusted the top strap correctly, the headset sat very comfortably on my face and perfectly in the Pimax Crystal's admittedly large sweet spot. So despite being quite heavy and very front-weighted, I was surprised how comfortable the Crystal Super was, though I did get the return of the dreaded VR face. The Pimax Crystal Super comes stock with two different facial pads, a thin one made of this nice soft material and a thicker one with two cutouts. Here, I wear glasses, so usually rely on prescription lenses from VR Rock for convenience, but with the thicker pad and its cutout, I found I could wear my normal glasses in headset without any discomfort at all, probably due to the physical size of the headset shell. But it was a nice surprise and saves on ordering and paying for separate prescription lens inserts. So, well done Pimax for thinking about us, specky four eyes. Plus, with eye tracking enabled, the headset has auto IPD built in for convenience and pinpoint clarity. The QLED screens are nice and bright with good colours. There is noticeable distortion at the far periphery of your vision, but you must move your eyes to the extreme left or right to spot this. Once I'd started racing, this was never a concern, and the sweet spot is pretty large once you are wearing the headset correctly. Audio is okay. It is a big bugbear of mine that the inbuilt audio solution for most VR headsets is average at best. The Pimax solution is the same, acceptable without being exceptional. There is a separate DMAS earphone upgrade hidden away in the accessories tab, which costs £76, and if you are spending this much on a high-end VR headset, you should probably pay that little bit extra and include this upgrade. The Pimax Crystal Super includes two industry standard controllers which are familiar and work well. Plus, it uses inside-out slam tracking to keep tabs on the headset and controller positions, so no need for separate base stations and the associated wiring. Worked flawlessly throughout my test, so there's really nothing more to say there. Pimax Play App. I have been told by many Pimax owners that the user interface was awkward and unintuitive to use, but as a new owner, I have found that the Pimax Play software is actually pretty good, with a few quirks, but this is Pimax, so I guess it is to be expected. Firstly, make sure you are running the latest version, which is currently 1.42.1. You can check in the settings tab, and there is a convenient update button next to the version number. Once the software is open, click on your connected device, and this is where all the magic sauce is hidden. Device tab. Make sure the firmware is up to date. Room lighting frequency for the UK is 50 Hz. I believe this would be 60 Hz for our American cousins. There is a recline mode that switches off any tracking movement. Your all-important refresh rate is here, either 90 Hz or 72 Hz. Currently, I would avoid 72 Hz lab. It just looks terrible, plus brightness and adjustment of the light bar color. Make sure eye tracking is ticked. You can tick auto IPD or set it up manually. That is completely up to you. I left it on auto as it seemed to be okay for me, even with my glasses on. The rest of the settings are self-explanatory. I'm going to skip the Games tab momentarily as this is the most important tab, and I will come back to it. General tab. Make sure that Pimax OpenXR is set as your OpenXR runtime. Set the headset as default audio, and I have the Home tab unchecked as it just kind of puts you in some weird planet-like space, which I didn't like. Advanced tab. I have not touched any of these settings except to turn off pass-through, which uses the black and white tracking cameras and just looks very Quest 2. Games tab. This is the one where you will spend most of your time fiddling with the settings, so I will go through what I found to work best for me and tell you the settings to avoid at all costs, because some of them are quite broken. Right at the top is your Games tab. This will automatically include all games currently installed in your Steam VR library. If you have games from another platform, close this tab down, go to My Assets, click Import on the far right, then link the .exe file for the game you want, and it will be included in your Games tab. Now, whether it launches from there is another quirk. I have F125 from my EA Play account, and importing it didn't work, though I could launch it directly from the EA app, so Pimax need to sort that out. Back to the Games tab, and I've left the FOV on normal. Putting it on large zoomed the screen in massively and made me feel cross-eyed. I will go back to this setting in a different video, but for now, just leave it on normal. Image quality has arguably the biggest effect on your performance. I run an RTX 4080 and it struggles with the Crystal Super's insane resolution. So I found clipping customized and then a setting between 0.65 to 0.7 at 72Hz worked for me. GPU upscaling is Pimax's built-in image upscaling tech and it does work pretty well. I have an NVIDIA GPU, so picked custom NIS at 1.1 and sharpening at 0.6. Sharpening cannot be used if you have any GPU upscaling applied. If you want to change the sharpening, set the GPU upscaling to none, then go back to sharpening and adjust to your liking. Dynamic foveated rendering is probably the most powerful tool as it breaks down the view in each eye into central and peripheral view. Your central view is rendered to the highest selected resolution, while your peripheral view is rendered at a lesser resolution. Now this can massively improve your performance, lower your GPU overhead and means you can run at higher graphics, but it doesn't work with all games. It is fully customizable though, but I used the quality preset and just left it at that. Pimax noob tip number 2. Dynamic foveated rendering will not enable. This is an easy one. You must make sure that Pimax OpenXR is set as the OpenXR runtime in the device general tab. Easy. Smart smoothing is Pimax's synchronous spacewarp or frame interpolation, basically generating false frames to keep the frame rate at your selected level if it starts to drop. I used it with rFactor 2, it did work but caused too much stuttering and reprojection to make it an enjoyable experience, so I just turned it off. Lock to half frame rate is good if you are playing a more sedate sim like a flight sim or space sim, but isn't good for sim racing or action games. This one is up to you. I had it off. Hidden area mask stops the headset from rendering pixels at the extreme edge of the panels and may give a performance boost. It's a bit like Virtual Desktop's FOV stencil, so I left this on. Then we have Vive compatibility buttons, some color tuning options, and that's basically it for setup. The games. I am going to run F125, the latest offering from EA covering the pinnacle of motorsport, Le Mans Ultimate for the ultimate endurance racing experience, then Half-Life Alyx because I just wanted to see what that crazy field of view does for Valve's masterpiece, F125. Apologies for the weird looking view, I think it's because of the stupidly big FOV on the Pimax Crystal Super. Anyway, running the common settings in the game tab, I had resolution at 0.65, GPU upscaling at 1.1 with sharpness at 0.6, dynamic foveated rendering on quality, and hidden area mask on. So we do get a few frame drops right at the start of the race, but once the field thins out a bit, we hit a lovely solid 72 FPS. That makes me happy, and it looked amazing too. That field of view is bonkers. Le Mans Ultimate. Same as F125, running the common settings in the Games tab. I had resolution at 0.65, GPU upscaling at 1.1, with sharpness at 0.6, dynamic foveated rendering on quality, and hidden area mask on. So halfway through the race, it started raining and it looked incredible. I also did a full day-night cycle race on one of my live streams, and that was absolutely superb. So yeah, this looks really good. Half-Life Alyx. Slightly different here, as I have seen that switching off GPU upscaling and just using sharpness at 0.6 improves the visuals, dynamic foveated rendering on quality, and hidden area mask on. Looks incredible. The sharpening has improved the overall visual fidelity, and we are hitting a solid 90 FPS, so this is about as good as I've seen Half-Life Alyx running. Before I get to my conclusion, this video's taken a lot of work to get right, both in testing and trying to be as factually accurate as I can be. So, if you have found benefit from this, please hit the like button. The algorithm loves the likes. Also subscribe and consider joining my channel membership so that I can continue making videos just like this one. Thanks. Conclusion. I'm going to be completely honest and put my hands up here. Owning a Pimax headset is a learning curve. I've had the Crystal Super for over a week now, and it has taken me that long to get used to the software, then test and fine-tune everything until I am 100% happy that it's the best I can get it running on my PC. It has lived up to its reputation as being a bit quirky, a bit like Pimax themselves as a company, but issues, I've had none whatsoever. Pimax did send me 2 headsets in case of any problems, but the other one is sat in the box, still sealed, and I haven't had any need for it. The updated Pimax Play App is a huge improvement over previous implementations. Everything you need, all in one neat package. But this experience comes from third parties who have used the old Pimax software, as obviously this is my first Pimax headset. So what about the experience of actually playing on the headset? I must say that the field of view is insane. Going back to any of my other headsets is like literally looking through a cardboard tube. It really is that good. The QLED displays are bright, colourful, and look very smooth. There is slight distortion at the periphery of your vision, but like I said earlier, you really must swivel the old eyeballs to see this, and considering you will spend most of your time kind of looking forward, it wasn't an issue for me. The only VR display that has this beat is the Play for Dream MR, which has those incredible Sony micro OLED displays at 3840 by 3552 per eye resolution. But those same displays will soon be available in the Crystal Super via an optical engine upgrade, so Pimax has that covered as well. Eye tracking is a nice feature and future-proofs the headset, but it isn't used by many games. I think DCS and Microsoft Flight Simulator 24 are exceptions here, which is a real shame as the performance benefits would take a huge chunk off the overhead of the GPU and allow people with less powerful PCs to enjoy the headset. Downsides. There is a learning curve which can be quite steep, but once you get the hang of it, that feeling fades away. It costs £1,325 in the UK, but you are getting a lot of headset for your money. You will also need a very beefy PC to get the absolute best out of it. My RTX 4080 struggled to run it anywhere near its full capability. The minimum spec on the website is a 2080 with a recommended spec of a 3070 or higher, but good luck with that. This is a headset built for a 50 series card and beyond. Upsides to owning a Pimax Crystal Super. I do like what Pimax have done with the Crystal Super. It's well made and is a surprisingly comfortable headset given the size and the weight. Once learned, the software is fairly intuitive and easy to use. The displays are mega, and that field of view is incredible, giving you a real spatial awareness and immersion when sim racing. So, I applaud Pimax for making it modular and upgradable. That means your investment has been future-proofed and reduces the cost of any upgrade when Nvidia launches the RTX 6090 next year. That's a joke, by the way. Or is it? I like it so much, I'm considering upgrading to a 5090 just to see what it is capable of. Le Mans Ultimate in Ultra Graphics at 90 FPS is suddenly an achievable dream. If you have the money. Well, that's it for today, but as always, what do you think? Are you foaming at the mouth to try this headset? Is this field of view the new king of VR? Are you more interested in the QLED panels at 3840 by 3840 per eye? Or is it all a bit too much money and you're going to stick with your Quest 3? You know the drill. Get involved and comment down below. Well, that's it for today. If you enjoyed this content, please hit the like button. The algorithm loves the likes. If you love this content, please join my channel membership like these lovely people did. You get custom badges, emojis, and early access to most of my content. If you want to watch more content from me, please click here or here. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the other side.